Hello, wrestling fans, boxing fans, and everybody out there. This is Ryan Murphy coming at you. This is Ryan Murphy Cochran coming at y'all with another video. Um, we got some stuff to cover. First, let's start out with this. The United Wrestling Network had a super show, a super card, where they crowned the United Wrestling Network World Heavyweight Champion. And it went to the Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson. He defeated Mike Bennett in the finals. So we have a new United Wrestling Network World Champion. It's going to be exciting to see where the United Wrestling Network goes from here. They added Atlanta to their territories, I guess you can call it. So United Wrestling Network from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Championship Wrestling from Arizona, Championship Wrestling from Memphis, now Atlanta, and we have a new United Wrestling Network World Champion in Chris Dickinson. So it's going to be real exciting to see where they go from here. Now that they have the World Champion crowned. Who's first in line for the United Wrestling Network World title? We're going to have to wait and see. In other news, the WWE is bringing back the King of the Ring tournament, and they're also crowning a Queen of the Ring. A King of the Ring for the women as well. So we're going to have a King of the Ring and a Queen of the Ring. Now, the King of the Ring tournament began in '85. Kings of the Ring included Harley Race, Randy Savage, Tito Santana. The King of the Ring actually began in 1985. Kings of the Ring included, but if we're going by the first ever pay-per-view King of the Ring, in 93. The first ever pay-per-view King of the Ring event was in 93. The first King of the Ring on record from 93 on was Bret the Hitman Hart, his brother Owen in 94. 95 was Mabel, Nelson Frazier Jr., rest in peace. 96 was Steve Austin. He defeated Jake the Snake Roberts in the finals. 97 was Triple H. 98 was Ken Shamrock. 99 was Billy Gunn. 2000 was Edge. Was Adam Copeland, aka Edge. It took a hiatus for a while. In 2002, it was Brock Lesnar. Again, took a hiatus. The King of the Ring also was Booker T. Booker T won a King of the Ring as well, as did William Regal, as did Sheamus and Wade Barrett. The King of the Ring has launched some tremendous careers. Steve Austin is the main one that jumps out at me. Brock Lesnar is another one that jumps out at me. They went on to become megastars. Booker T went on to become a world champion after the King of the Ring award. Edge went on to become a world champion after the King of the Ring. So the King of the Ring has been a very big part of the WWE for years. It's going to be exciting to see what they do with this tournament and where it goes from here. Now, like I said, they also have a Queen of the Ring. So we're going to have a King and Queen of the Ring. And we'll see what happens the WWE had their draft. The draft. And honestly, folks, nothing really jumped out at me from the draft. They had a couple of NXT call-ups. Austin Theory, Walter, Edge will be on Raw. Roman Reigns stays on SmackDown. The Usos are on SmackDown. RK Bro stays on Raw. The Mysterios stay on, I think they'll be on Raw. Like I said, nothing about this draft really jumped out at me. But they had their draft. The rumor mill was, what's going on is there was thoughts of breaking up the Street Profits. But that did not happen. The Usos stay on SmackDown. And I'd like to see what happens with the big guy Walter and this guy Austin Theory. Those are the two that, and Karrion Kross, he's on Raw. And like I said, I didn't really keep up with the draft. But as soon as I find out the information from the draft, or I get more information on the draft, I will be updating the channel with that information. In NWA news, the tag team of Tim Storm and Nick Aldis tonight on Power. They'll take on Tom Latimer and Chris Adonis in a tag match. Now this is going to be real interesting because they had a trilogy of matchups. Tim Storm got the first one. Nick Aldis got the first and second and third matchup. And there was a rule in that series that if Nick Aldis won the third matchup, Tim Storm couldn't get another shot at the world title. But now that Trevor Murdoch is the man standing on top of the NWA mountaintop, will he allow Tim Storm to have a shot at the world title? Like I said, the mysterious masked man throws down the gauntlet for Tyrus. The Pope also made it known. Not only does he want back the world television title, but he wants a shot at the world heavyweight title. And he said to Trevor, I'm knocking on the door for you real soon. So we'll see what happens with that one. Ohio Valley Wrestling, the champion of the world, vacated the title. They crowned the Kentucky State Heavyweight Champion in Lucius Lawrence. On to Impact Wrestling. Josh Alexander, a former X Division champion, is cashing in option C. That's when you get to vacate the X Division title and go for the World Heavyweight title. And he'll be at Bound for Glory October 23rd, challenging Christian Cage for the world's title. So, with the vacancy of the X Division Championship. How are they going to decide that? The X Division is such a huge part of Impact Wrestling. Such great names such as Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Low Key is one of them. Jay Lethal is another former X Division champ. Matt Bentley is the cousin of Shawn Michaels. Tessa Blanchard, a very controversial figure in professional wrestling for a good minute. She'll be a part of Wild Women of Wrestling. That's a company that's making its comeback. It was here for a minute, and then it went away, and now it's coming back. Tessa Blanchard was the first woman to ever win a man's heavyweight title in Impact Wrestling. Tessa Blanchard is a hell of a talent. Very talented lady, very good looking lady. She got the skills in the ring. She's coming back to Wild Women of Wrestling. I'm pretty sure she'll be in the ring. But will she have other duties as far as being an executive producer? Will she write some of the shows? What is her status with them? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And also talking of a comeback, Lucha Underground. There was a lot of Lucha Underground talent that were not happy with the contracts they were under, because it made it impossible for them to work somewhere else. And Lucha Underground would have off seasons like they do with basketball and football and things like that. So the talent that was under contract to them couldn't wrestle anywhere else. But Lucha Underground had a lot of great talent in it. From Jack Evans, Willie Mack, John Morrison, Chavo Guerrero Jr., Rey Mysterio Jr. The list goes on and on. And All Elite Wrestling, the new television champion Sammy Guevara, is getting ready for his first title defense against Bobby Fish. But before Bobby Fish challenges for the television title, the TNT Championship, he will be competing in Major League Wrestling's Opera Cup. And so we'll see what happens. And in the rumor mill, Bray Wyatt was supposed to be at the memorial show for Brody Lee, but that did not happen. From what I understand so far is Bray Wyatt turned down All Elite Wrestling for Impact Wrestling. That's what I know. So that's what the rumor mill is. But the bottom line is, Bray Wyatt is going to be a hell of an addition to any locker room he comes into, whether it's All Elite Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, Major League Wrestling, Game Changer Wrestling. Wherever he ends up, he's going to be an addition to that locker room, and he's one hell of an addition to that locker room, regardless of where he goes, where he ends up, who he ends up with. It's going to be a great addition for that company, whoever gets him. And as we all know, in the wrestling world, we lost a few people. In the sport of wrestling, we lost a few people. We lost former ECW Extreme Pioneer, 3-time ECW Tag Team Champion New Jack. We also lost Paul Orndorff, a former WCW Tag Team Champion, multiple-time television champion. Fans would remember the big event between him and Hulk Hogan. They set box office records. We also lost Bobby Eaton, one of the most respected talents in the locker room, one of the most respected workers in the business, one of the most respected tag team wrestlers in the business as well. So rest in peace to Bobby Eaton, rest in peace to New Jack. We also lost Butch Reed. Butch Reed was a part of Doom, one of the most dominant tag teams in the late 80s, early 90s. They went head-to-head with the Steiner brothers and beat them. The Freebirds and beat them. Rock and Roll Express and beat them. Butch Reed was in the conversation to be the Intercontinental Champion, not the Honky Tonk Man. But something happened. I guess Butch Reed didn't show up or something. Something went wrong. The Honky Tonk Man got the nod to be the Intercontinental Champion. But Butch Reed had left his mark on this business. A very strong, intimidating guy. A former football player. I'll remember him for his tag team of Doom. Doom was a very dominating tag team. Very dominating. They reminded me of Demolition, the Powers of Pain, and the Road Warriors. All rolled up into one. And also, another guy that we had lost was the Patriot Dal Wilkes. 4-time WCW Tag Team Champion. Former global, GWF Global North American Champion. Speaking of Global was this promotion in Texas that was doing shows at the Sportatorium in Dallas. The Von Erich family, for all you wrestling historians out there, would do shows at the Sportatorium on the regular. And a lot of great names came through that Sportatorium, such as the Freebirds, Dustin Rhodes, the Ebony Experience, aka Harlem Heat, one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling. Shouts out to Stand Up for Greatness. That's Stevie Ray's podcast. And shouts out to his brother too. A 2-time Hall of Famer. 7-time WCW television champion. A U.S. champion. A world champion. Him and his brother Stevie Ray. Multiple-time WCW tag team champions. The son of Rick Steiner had made his debut for NXT 2.0, and the talks has already began about him and being a world champion. He already put down the gauntlet for Tommaso Ciampa, who won the NXT championship after Samoa Joe vacated it. And speaking of Samoa Joe, he'll be on Raw due to the draft as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be exciting for wrestling fans everywhere. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some fun with the sport of wrestling. Wrestling is red hot, and like I said, rest in peace to New Jack, Butch Reed, Paul Orndorff, the Patriot, Bobby Eaton. Rest in peace to everybody that we have lost in this business. They put their bodies on the line to entertain you and myself. Blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of pain to entertain the fans. So, kudos to all of them for their time in this business. And rest in peace and rest in comfort to all of them. Wrestling and boxing forever. I'm out.